What up, everybody? You guys are watching Freedom Fishing TV, and before I get into my top baits for the summer, I just want to say at 1,000 subscribers we are doing a giveaway, so go down below and hit that subscribe button. And one more quick thing, if you go down below, hit that link in the description to linearjigs.com and use our coupon code FreedomFishing10. You will get a discount off of your order. Okay, so it is about to be summertime, and for that I decided I'll make a video talking about my favorite baits to use during the summer. So, you know how the fish go two different ways in the summer. You know, some will go shallow under the docks and in the shade, and the other half will go deep down to the ledges where it's the depths are just a lot deeper. So you can really fish both ways. It's whatever you prefer, and also you can do both as well, obviously. So in this video I will talk about the best baits to use for both circumstances. Okay, so starting off shallow, they're going to be in the shade, they're going to be under overhanging trees, they're going to be under docks, they're going to be under bridges and stuff like that, and they're going to be where the shade is, and also where like lily pads and like lily pads and really thick cover. So when they're in shade under trees that are shallow, you're going to want to throw topwater. Now the topwaters I like to use for that kind of circumstances would be a frog. This is a prop frog by Lunker. Or I'll use a walking bait, like a spook. These are good baits, especially to cover water quick. And let's say it's a windier day, there's more current, I'll throw a buzz bait, black or white, depending on the conditions. And the only time I'm going to throw a popping frog or just a popper in general is going to be in the early morning and the late evening when it's starting to get darker out. So that's the topwater. That's when they're in the shade. When there's shade and it's also shallow, I'm going to be throwing topwater. Now, if they're under docks, under bridges, and when they're in thick brush or grass, I'm going to throw a good old flippin' jig or arky jig. You know, something dark. Black and blue is what I always go to, or like a June bug, maybe a watermelon, something dark. But black and blue is always a go-to for me, always, always. But I'll use a black and blue jig and I'll flip it into that stuff, and you'll be surprised what you catch on a fucking jig. So that's when they're under docks and they're under bridges and stuff too. And that's basically what I'll use for shallow. You know, I'll throw a Texas rig too, but that's the main tactics for when they're shallow. Now the other half of the fish, they're going to be, you know, in the channels and the ledges. Those are going to be deeper fish. A bait I do not have on me, which is a very good bait to use when you find the ledge and you're right above it, is a spoon. You know, you cast it below you, you let it flutter down, and then you pop it up. Let it flutter down, pop it up. That's a great bait to use in the middle of the summer. Now, a really, really good bait that I say to use if they're on ledges is a deep diving crankbait. Boom. You know, you got all your shad colors, your craw colors, your bluegill colors, and then your chartreuse colors. You know, the colors really depend on what the bass are feeding on. Let's say you're on the bank and you're fishing, and you see what they're feeding. If it's bluegill, throw some bluegill. And if that's not biting, I'll go to a chartreuse. And if that's not biting, I'll probably go to a different bait. But if not, I'll go to the shad color. But you know, if there's shad, I'll throw the shad first. You know, most of the time the bluegill are going to be spawning in the summer, so if I were you, I'd start out with that color and then go to like a bright color. Now if you're using a deep diving crankbait and the water you're fishing is really, really dark or mucky, whatever, I would use a tiger colored. The ones with like the zigzags on the side, the stripes. I don't think I have one because I never fish anything that dark, but it's going to be closer to your like pre-spawn craw color, but it's going to be brighter than this. It's going to be as if you had a craw color and like a chartreuse combined. You know, when they're deep like that, another bait I would also use is some sort of finesse. And my go-to finesse would be a shaky head. You know, find that ledge, find the channels, find where there's, you know, drop-offs, throw it, and just, I would fish it super slow. So a shaky head, and then my other go-to bait would be a Ned rig. Other than that, I would maybe try a drop shot. But those are my favorite baits for when they're shallow and for when they're deep. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys try something out that's new. Once again, go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'll really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for watching.